All right, we are live.
Live.
Back.
Little late tonight. You know, little heated discussions before the show, so we are getting ready to kick
But
things
there's
off.
a lot to talk about. My man Rick Wonder's back.
Rick Wonder is back at the Funktion House.
Yeah.
One of the hardest working DJs in New York City.
Hands down.
One of the hardest working DJs right here. I don't think he sleeps.
No,
2 hours.
2 hours.
Solid 2 hours.
I like the days that you have like 3 spots going.
He's-
That's Sundays. Usually
That's
the
Sundays.
brunch, then you hit
Sundays,
Oak.
me and you.
He's on some health kick, right? You eating well now?
Kind of inspired by him, you know, the mixed martial arts, the boxing, the eating healthy,
It's good.
all that stuff.
Yeah,
Trying
what-
to get ready for summer, you know.
Yeah,
What's going on with that? What are you doing? Gym, diet? What's up?
he's a
Boxing every morning, diet.
What's the name of the boxing place you go to?
Rumble.
Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble Fitness.
Plug.
Yeah, plug. Yeah, just it's. I was never a gym person. I don't want to go to the gym and lift weights and all that bullshit.
You don't
So
wanna
if I
lift
can go
things
somewhere,
up and
somebody
put
tells
things
me for like
down?
a half hour, 45 minutes. Do this, punch this, pick this up, and
Yep.
then you're done. That's it. It's kind of like a class, like
Yep.
when you take the classes or whatever.
Yep. You should come to jiu-jitsu.
I'll get my ass kicked. I don't know.
At
Give me a
first
couple
you will.
Give me a couple more
At
months.
first you will.
He's been
go?
trying to. No, he's been trying to get me to go, and I really should
When
go.
you go, I'll go.
I really should go, but I have like these weird things with my fucking muscles, bro. Like my arms pop out of their sockets, and so it's not a that's a contact sport where you're rolling on the ground and like you put in these weird positions, and like I just know like my arm's gonna pop off out of its socket, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
be like
it goes
seeing
back in,
stars.
though.
Well, that's a lot more like involved. Like you're like on the ground and like doing.
Yeah,
all
you're
crazy.
you're wrestling for an hour and a half.
Yeah. The next thing I'm gonna start next week is yoga. Hot yoga. Well, maybe hot yoga, but yoga.
You need this stuff. You need something like that to detach yourself from the nightlife, because nightlife could get crazy being out every night till 4 a.m. You need to have like a workout or something, some sort of regimen.
I think that's one thing like all these up and coming DJs need to learn is that you need a life outside of nightlife. You can get consumed real easy. You can drink every night, wake up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and repeat the process. But as you get older, you value more in like the balance between like you can have a couple of drinks and go out, you
Yep.
know, but you need to also like live kind of a healthy lifestyle and balance that out, or
Yeah.
else 40 years old is gonna suck.
So how do you deal with it? I mean, like, look, you're out in nightlife how many times a week? At least 3 nights a week, right?
Now
More.
five to six.
So five at a minimum.
5 at a minimum.
Okay.
Yeah, but the other 2 days he's in the studio, so it's like he's still.
But I'm saying, how do you, because it's easy to just get caught up
It
having
is,
a
and
drink.
we
You
all
know,
get caught.
how do
There's
you
sometimes when
deal with that?
You drink too much, and that's when you just Uber Eats Pedialyte and
Yeah, but you
take
like
it
you
down.
weren't drinking for a while, then you started drinking again. We had a drink together, and then you weren't drinking again. So you go on and off.
It's like I was just saying, it's hard to it's easy to get consumed in nightlife.
Here's a question: do you feel it's easy to DJ after a couple drinks?
There's like a responsible DJ. I'm a little bit more experimental. I'm pulling off some really cool shit, and then oops.
Yes, that's the
You know.
line. Yep.
There's like that one shot where you're like, that mix isn't gonna sound good.
What is your drink of choice when you are DJing?
Well, because of the health kick now, it's tequila and club soda.
Tequila and club. So that's more of a healthy,
That's the healthy thing. That's the healthy
clear. The clear
Yeah,
alcohols are
yeah,
better,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Less of a hangover the next day.
But I think I'm gonna try when I'm an adult, like when I'm adulting, like on like a nice dinner, try like an old fashioned or something.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Try to step it up a little bit, you know?
I'm a Scotch guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
the,
Scotch.
The problem with like I would always drink Johnny Walker. I mean I always drink if I'm gonna go out drinking I'll have a Johnny Walker. The problem with Scotch is that like it taps you on the shoulder.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And the next thing you know you're just done.
When I was younger, when I was 21, one of my favorite clubs in Queens, the owner, one of the requirements was to drink Johnny Walker Black. It was his favorite thing. He had like a sponsorship deal. DNA. Remember DNA?
Yeah, Dina, yeah.
And the owner would just bring a bottle of DJ with him and be like, if you don't drink this, you're getting off. and that was it. It was me, Little C, Johnny Buds, and it was Johnny Walker chasing it with Jägermeister.
What year was that?
10 years ago?
Oh, so that's when nightlife was good.
11, 12 years ago? Something like that?
Yeah.
That's
It's wild,
when
though.
that's when it
when-
was like super fun to DJ.
That's when
Yeah.
the main room is all house. The side room is all hip hop. You couldn't wear white colored sneakers. You know,
Oh, no
like,
te-
you have,
no
like,
tennis
You
shoes.
have the diesel shoes. And
Do you
stuff.
remember when people were going out with slacks?
Yeah, yeah,
Like people weren't even wearing jeans; they were wearing slacks. You had to
Yeah.
go out with slacks,
yeah.
blazers.
When I first started, I thought it was cool to wear like the caffeine pants and UFOs. And,
Yes.
like the weird rave shit.
Yeah, bro.
And then
I-
it was like
There was
the silky-
parties.
the silky shirts
There
with
was
the
parties
collar
that
and-
you'd have to wear a suit to, like Copacabana after work party on Tuesday nights was like the spot.
I went to the upstairs place, the rooftop, like years later.
Yeah.
It was cold. I don't know, something.
I
don't know what it was called.
I would, but that was more of like an after work thing.
It was an after work
So
thing.
people were
I used
going
to
there
put on
after
a
work.
suit and I used to open up the tie like I was coming from work. I
Like
was
Travolta
like 17.
status with like the collar
I was
out.
like 17 years old.
But no, there were, I think, probably before our time, more like my brother's age. My brother's like 10 years older than me. That's how they used to go out in suits.
Right.
Clubs in the city. Like
Right,
it
right,
was, you had to wear like a
Collared-
suit and
collared
tie.
shirt.
Collared shirt,
Yeah.
suit and tie to get in. Now it's like you have to wear like a cool pair of sneakers, right? Or you have
Well,
to
now
wear.
it's like those sweatpants look okay.
It's crazy.
If the sweatpants cost more than 300, they're okay. If you're wearing like Old Navy sweatpants, you can't get in the club. But if they're like
The
Balenciaga or
sweatpants have the
something,
drawstring that goes to your knees.
Yeah.
Like when you tie the knot and it hangs down, and the zippers.
right in.
You're in, no problem. They might even comp you a bottle. Like no problem. Yeah.
Nightlife got crazy, man.
If you have like a designer pattern on your hat, you get free dinner. It's crazy.
I mean, you're out a lot, so you see a lot of different clubs and different establishments how they run their business.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane what's going on.
I was thinking about it the other day, and you guys a little bit older. You guys been around longer than me. I'm trying to figure out. And I had a conversation a couple of times of when it changed. When it went from like you trusted DJ, you had a good time, to now where it's just a different. It's not really like there's parties. Like the Lower East Side has fun parties. There's like bridge and tunnel places that are awesome, but like the places that are supposed to be cool don't really feel like real parties anymore. There's no like that feeling of like you going to like a party where we all vibe together, and it feels like kind of like a high school cafeteria if like everybody was kind of paid to be there.
Well, how much do you think it has changed since you've been on the show the last time? I mean, you
been
were on the
you were
show
on the first season 3 years,
three years ago,
But
right?
like every year, it's slowly getting.
But I think it's been a huge
different.
change
Yeah.
in the last 3
In the-
years.
In the last 3 years, in the last year and a half, 2 years, definitely.
Well, I mean, I feel like there's a lot more promoters. I feel like everyone's a promoter now, and there's apps where you can just
I feel-
hire people to come to the club.
I feel like people are being called promoters when they're not promoters.
They just hang out with girls.
Like George K is a promoter,
Yeah.
or Joe Messina was a promoter,
Yep.
or these people that took over a room and made a party happen. What was that? What was the guy at Exit? Joey X, whatever. The guy that was always like
Adam X? No, not Adam X.
maybe.
Was it
Bobby Goodrich? He was a promoter.
Yeah.
He made
Yes.
a party happen. You had
Yeah.
fun.
Frank Mancuso, Chris
Chris Rita,
Rita,
yeah.
Take
Those are
over a room,
promoters.
book DJs,
Artie,
hire-
Joe Morrissey.
hire popular girls as the waitress. Now these people are called promoters. They're really just hosts. They know 10 girls. They show up. They bring the same, 10 girls out every night, and
They bring a spender out
they're,
with
they're,
them.
they're supposed to be there from 12 to 2 or whatever. At 2 o'clock, you be playing the dopest song on the planet. 2 o'clock, they're like, okay, next spot. Everybody gets up and walks out like it was rehearsed. Like you were.
You know what it is?
It's
tur-
fake. It's crazy.
it turned into a tremendous business. I mean, nightclubs have never made as much money as they've done over the last 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Like when bottle service hit New York and you were making $100,000 in a night, like back in the day, clubs didn't make that much money at the bar.
Right.
Well, they did make money. They definitely made money at the bar. I think you had people who were spending money. I think that if there is no bottle service at a club, they're not making money at the bar now.
Right.
And I think that that's what the major problem that you're having in nightlife is. That's number one. Number two, when you're talking about at 2 o'clock in the morning, they're getting up and they're going to the next place.
Yeah.
The problem with that, and
It's
this is the
fake.
problem.
It's like this con of a night. that,
I
like,
think it's the problem with everything is that everybody's attention span is becoming shorter and shorter, and everything is really quick for everybody. So they can't stay at a place for so long
Right.
because they don't have the attention span to stay at that place for so long, and they
Yeah.
got to go to the next place.
Right.
Just think about it.
No, yeah, it's true. It's crazy. I mean, like, yeah, people definitely jump around a lot more. It's it's just different. It's odd.
So how is that a problem for you as a DJ? I mean, is it a problem for you?
In those rooms, it's not that it's unmotivating. Like, you always want to have a good time. You always want to make the party happen. But you look around, you're like, why, like, it's just.
Where'd everybody go?
Yeah, it's not as fun as, like, almost makes you want to play at these bars where you can play, like, the fun stuff. And people don't mind spending $40 to get in, spending $20 per drink at the bar, and having the best time ever.
Yep.
They appreciate going out.
That's why I have so much fun at Bounce, because there's more. It's like a bar, but then it's a club, then it's a sports bar. There's a lot going on in Bounce.
Right, and you can play.
And they don't bother you there.
You can
to
play,
play.
but you can also play Grease Lightning, and people are like, yo,
the only time they bother you is when you have to play like the Minions song for like a bottle presentation, which has to stop.
That, as years go by, is getting crazier and more ridiculous, and it's like, first it was like, okay, we got some sparklers. Can you play this? Can you shout out this person, say happy birthday?
Yeah.
Cool. Then 2 Chainz made a birthday song. Can you play the birthday song, or fit in the club, then whatever?
Yeah.
Can you play the song when this parade comes out? Cool. We'll add a sign. Now it's like, yo, we got a midget in a Ferrari holding a glowing suitcase with 3 Ace of Spades bottles and sparklers coming out of his ass. Can you play Frank Sinatra into 69, but make Drake rap the verse?
Yeah. It's getting crazy.
What?
It's getting crazy.
Huh? What? It's
It's like, what else could we do for these clients? What else could we have to make them feel more and more special every time they order something, so they order more. Just like the surfboard coming through the club with all the shots on it.
Yeah.
It's like a presentation. It's like they're catering to the spender.
You know what drives me nuts is when I don't really mind it as much, except when, like, I'm in the middle. When it takes a while to get the crowd going sometimes, right? And a house set really gets them going. And they go, yo, this is great. You got a great vibe in the place. We got a presentation coming. Play Britney Spears. And you're like, everyone's dancing.
Yeah.
Why do you want them to stop? And like, but this guy just spent money. Cool. 5 people are going to be happy. And 500 are going to be like, you're an asshole.
I mean, look, it all comes down to like where the location of these clubs are. Manhattan, the rents are ridiculous.
Yeah,
you got some clubs. You have some clubs that are like $50,000-$60,000 a month that they have to make. You know, and then you go to Brooklyn, and there's some spots in Brooklyn where you don't even see a bottle or a sparkle coming out. That it's like $4 or $5 grand a month. So it's got a lot to do with where the clubs are.
Yeah.
But it's funny that these clubs now in Brooklyn are struggling.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Output. They closed, right?
Yeah.
And there's rumors of like some other places in Brooklyn.
I wonder what like the real story was behind that though, because like they had a crazy. I think they still own the property.
Well,
right?
we were talking to somebody
actually renting it out. I heard as a club.
As a club.
Because they'll probably make more money renting the space than they would actually running a club.
Well,
I think the definition of a club and a party is slowly changing, and we're so used to the old way that we don't realize what it is. Like we know, like take Exit, the space, right? Exit is a club that had a Friday night party, a Saturday night party, maybe like a Thursday night Latin party, let's just say, or whatever. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they're open 3 nights. That doesn't exist anymore. Now it's Terminal 5, an event space. The doors are still open Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And there's still music getting played Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And there's still people going there Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's still a club. But that party that was every week is now a crazy event every other month.
Yes.
That fills up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, every single week of a calendar. It's just the definition of what a club and a party and a nightlife venue has changed. So Output might not be Output anymore with, Dance Here Now Thursdays or whatever the party was.
Well,
Yep.
we heard
those types of venues,
well,
the hard ticket sales.
we were actually talking to somebody today about it, and what they were saying, and I mean, we don't know if this is the real story either, but supposedly the area, like things that are going up in the area around Output are changing, right? So like a lot of these hotels and stuff that are being built up around the venue, they were no longer allowed to have the outdoor section of Output, which was the best part.
Awesome.
So now they were going to have to shut that down, And look, and I don't even know if this is true, but this is what we were told by somebody today. So they were going to have to shut that down, and that's going to be a big loss in revenue, right? The other thing is that the people that are going to Output, the Output didn't do bottle service, right?
Right.
So the people that are going to Output, they're not spending money at the bar.
There were tables in Output. On the
There were tables,
you
but
could
they
just sit
never.
there.
Yeah, you could just sit there.
Sit there. There was no waitress
So
or anything like that.
they weren't making any money from that, and some of these DJs that they're getting to come and play are astronomical in price. You know, an Output's not a tremendous club,
Right.
so it's not like you're putting 3,000-4,000 people in there and making huge amount of money on ticket sales. You know,
Yeah.
so because of that, I guess they saw the writing on the wall. It was not like they were like losing money, but I think they got to a point where if they kept going, they would have started losing money. And again, this is all
Yeah.
speculation.
Right.
It makes sense, you know, but we've heard rumors about other places in that area that are having the same struggles.
It's crazy, right? How you see like places in like the meatpacking where there was like a million clubs, and I get like Outputs of that closing, and then you see like Brooklyn Raj, Avant Gardner popping up and doing 5,000 people on a Friday, 5,000 people on a Saturday. It's I don't know. I think just nightlife's changing and the definition. And
Well, how do you feel about playing as an open format DJ? Because like, there's no open format in much places anymore.
open formats, it's crazy. So since the last time I was on the show, I started a party called Feel Good at Catch,
Yep.
where it was all throwbacks, and I noticed, even on a dead night, 'cause, we had like this night when there could only be like 50 people, or whatever. Those 50 people had more fun than like like a cool night playing Drake and Migos and the same stuff they stream every second of every day
Yeah.
over and over again. I think it's being accepted more in like the funner rooms where you're allowed to switch it up and play more like real open format. Take a place like Tao, right? Tao, we were only allowed to play hip hop, strictly hip hop, for the longest time. And now you can play a little bit more house, a little bit more funner, dancier stuff, because it keeps the crowd more involved. People are streaming a Drake song 30,000 times a day. When they get to the club, they like it, but they hear something else that might not like.
What do you have more? What do you have more fun playing? Do you enjoy the parties that are open format when you get to play like Michael Jackson
Yeah.
and stuff like that?
Yeah, I know you wanted to bring it up. I like
That was
all
a good
ki-
segue.
that was good. That was good. I like all kinds of music.
What I thought? Huh.
Nah, I like the parties like you said, like bounce. Or I like the rooms when they take the leash off, when you can play everything.
Are you getting any heat for still playing Michael Jackson?
No,
No, like boos or thumbs down on
No.
the.
nah. I haven't played R. Kelly.
You haven't played R. Kelly?
I haven't played R. Kelly. I
So you-
haven't watched.
so you
I haven't,
won't-
I haven't, I haven't watched it either.
Well, I mean, prior to the whole thing with R. Kelly, were there any R. Kelly tracks that you would rotate in every so often?
Yeah, there was a.
My mind's telling me.
No, there was an Ignition bootleg I like to play. At the end of the night, I used to always play like Happy People and Step in the Name of Love.
Yeah, those are like good
The fun end of the
ending.
night stuff,
Yes,
you know?
yes.
Um,
How about like Hotel?
a little bit, not
All
really.
right.
But Michael, man. I mean,
He's not around to defend his side of the argument. I'm not defending him or his actions or anything like that. I'm just quoting Joe Rogan with that. But I don't know.
do you think they're
It's-
lying in the documentary?
No, I don't think they're lying. I think people are getting so caught up in like something to debate about and something to be offended about, and like the fad of the moment to like talk about the Michael Jackson documentary, that they care more about the fact that talking about the Michael Jackson documentary
Than the issue at hand.
Than the issue of it, because
Yeah.
the issue's always been around and known about, maybe not in so much detail, and maybe not from like the eyewitnesses around in the documentary as it is right now. But like it's been in every like there's been so many like comedy segments or shows or whatever, like that topic. It's not like a shocking thing.
Well, I think it's Michael Jackson. I mean, Michael Jackson was probably the most famous person in the world,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So the fact that it's the most famous person in the world that's, made some of the best music of all time is like a huge blow
Yeah.
to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because look, the truth was told many years ago, right? There was accusations and there was the trials and all that other stuff, and he was acquitted. And because of the fact that he was acquitted, like everybody sort of, stepped away from the issue. But a lot of people probably in the back of their head, were saying to themselves like, what 30-year-old guy do you know
Right.
hangs out with children if they're not like a school teacher?
I'm not defending him.
No. I'm not. I'm not saying you are, and I'm not defending him either. I'm not, making accusations. It's just you're 100% right. I mean, I think that there's a bigger issue. I think that they need to pay. I think they need to pay attention to the issue of child abuse and child molestation as opposed to just focusing on Michael Jackson. There's 100 million cases like the Michael Jackson case that happen constantly. You know what I'm saying? And I think they need to shed more light on the issue at hand than just purely focusing on Michael Jackson.
If this sheds more light on that and helps somebody in the future, that's great. But to put out this documentary right after the R. Kelly documentary, it just seems like every
think it was
year,
done? You think
every
it
year
was
people
done
want something
strategically?
new and more shocking to talk about. Every week, it's like something else, and it's like okay, like
I mean, a year from now, nobody's going to be talking about R. Kelly or Michael Jackson.
no, they're going to be talking about whether it's a Trump thing or 69 out of jail and I don't know, fuck the horse or whatever the fuck he did.
But that's media in general.
Yeah.
Like, look, Bruce Jenner becomes a woman, and that was in the news, and everybody was on that shit.
Right.
Nobody's talking about that stuff anymore.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
He's like gone.
Yeah.
He's like doing his own thing now.
She's
She's gone.
she.
But no,
Caitlyn.
Caitlyn. No, but nobody even cares about that anymore. But
Right.
that's just media, And it's but I guess the issue is, are you going to stop playing Michael Jackson now because of this whole thing? And if people are looking at you funny because you are playing Michael Jackson, is that going to make you stop playing Michael Jackson? That's the question.
I'm undecided. I played Michael Jackson the other night, and people just had fun because it was more about the music and the party than that documentary. In a month from now,
Look,
I don't know.
without a doubt, Michael Jackson has amazing records.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, like there's some stuff. I mean, like Rock With You. Like these records are just
Right.
they're
And then,
gems.
then can you play the Jackson 5 music, but not Michael Jackson solo music? Like,
I don't know.
It's going to be a thing.
I mean,
where
just think-
everyone has their own feelings on the subject. I mean, nowadays it's so hard to even get to a Michael Jackson record in the clubs that if I don't play it, it's not like
At private
lose
events,
any
though, it's
sleep.
different, man. I mean, private events.
It might be harder to play Michael Jackson at
You
private
know,
events.
you could, in private events, you're playing Michael Jackson guaranteed in a set somewhere. You know what I'm saying? At
I gotta play a
weddings.
wedding in Miami this Saturday, and they want throwbacks. And on their Spotify list was Michael Jackson right there with the Bee Gees and
Yeah.
Casey
Yeah.
Sunshine Band. And
I mean,
Look, if you're doing a
all that
private, you have to cater to people. Then that you have to.
on a good note, I like the fact that I can play more Queen in my sets now because of the
They're
Good
back.
movie came out. And I could play
Yeah.
like, Bohemian Rhapsody in an open format set.
Yeah.
And younger kids that might not have listened to them are digging Queen now. I mean, that's a good thing.
Well, what's funny is there's something that always it seems like there's something that always brings Queen back. Like I remember when we were younger and like Wayne's World came out and they had like Bohemian Rhapsody in that movie and it became huge for like all the young kids because I don't know how old I was at the time, but Wayne's World was like 20 years ago. Right? So at that time that comes out and Queen was like big again. And now this movie comes out, Queen's big again.
Yeah, I played a bunch of their songs like back to back the other night, like "Don't Stop Me," Bohemian Rhapsody, "Under Pressure," and all these young kids like knew every word, and we're getting like hyped, and I was like, this is awesome.
Felt good, right?
Yeah, it was great.
Felt good to like change it up.
Yeah,
So what's cool? I mean, the residency in New York City is gone. Like being a resident DJ at a club is gone. But you'd work every Sunday. That's your party at Julan, right? So what is that like being somewhere every Sunday?
And how'd that come about?
so bunch of us that actually worked together back in the day at DNA
Okay.
are still working together 10, 12 years later, and all decided to do this brunch about 3 years ago. I think it was right around the time of the interview.
So you've been there for 3 years.
It's coming up on 3 years, yeah.
Wow.
And we're sold out like almost a month in advance.
In the beginning, it was really slow. I remember.
The first,
It,
the
like,
first,
didn't
the first
pop off
month, it
real-
was okay. And then the next month, it got a little crazier. And the next month, it got a little crazier. Then we started doing pop-ups in the Hamptons in the summer. And now, aside from like special events, like we just did a Biggie brunch. And this Sunday, we have a St. Patrick's Day party. We actually had to stop making flyers because we sell out so far, like 2 weeks in advance. We sell out. So we can't make a flyer to really push it.
Really?
Yeah, because people call up, hey, can we get a table? And there's nothing to...
So now it's on like an automatic pilot.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a cool relationship because a lot of people go there before bounce, so they'll stop in a bounce and then come there, and it's cool. It's got a good
So
crowd.
it must feel good to have that consistent spot every
Yeah.
Sunday residency.
And it's fun. It's fun to watch the music evolve because when I first started, it was mostly hip hop. Then it got into like a Clarity, Titanium, like throwback house thing, and now the biggest song I play every Sunday is "Believe." Share, 100%.
Get out of here.
That's like the song for the brunch.
It's like
Do
that.
you believe?
So yeah, so the last hour it's like real happy music, like 7 to 8. 8 o'clock we got a hard shut off, and we want to like make everybody leave like, feeling good and happy. So we're like, oh, let's do like feel good and throwbacks and like that. That music crushes.
Wow.
Yeah, this guy came up to me like a couple months ago and he's like, yo, you gotta play a song for my table. And I'm like, this guy's definitely gonna ask me for like Sicko Mode or like Mo Bamba. He goes, yo. And he looks like this. He goes, you got Share Believe? And I was like, bro, like, what do you really want to hear right now? He's like, I'm telling you, you play Share Believe and watch watch what happens to this room. And I was like, okay. But it's on you. I played it I was pulling the volume out. The whole place was chanting. It was great.
Yeah, I mean,
It was
I
awesome.
could see where that would come into play.
So you play a lot of records like that? Like, is it gearing more towards fun records like that?
Yeah, I see it like. I feel like it's coming back more in sets,
Well, I mean,
Like
you could have that
not
one.
coming back, like a balance of everything.
But
now.
you could have that one party where that's your outlet to like play that stuff.
Yeah, but where it was just one party. Now, like I play like that in the Lower East Side. I play like that more in meatpacking. Play like that at Bounce. Play like that at brunch.
You don't play Share at Bounce,
I do.
do you?
Yeah. Come on, Cole plays crazier than that. He played. I think last time he played Rent, the Broadway thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What happened to the meatpacking district? What happened? I stumbled into the Gansevoort Hotel, not recently, but maybe like 6 to 7 months ago. What happened in that place, bro? That whole area is fucking desolate.
I think everything in the city cycles, and it might come back. But like, when a few years ago, when we were all hanging out and meatpacking at all the clubs, whether it was the VIP room before it was RDV, and before that, and Kiss and Fly, and people were going, yo, what happened to 27th Street?
Yeah,
and
like
when there's
where-
14 clubs there, and,
Yep.
and when we were on 27th Street, like, yo, what happened to 21st Street?
Yeah.
When you had where Bounce is now, there was Bounce, there was the place upstairs, there was Bed, there was, and before that, you're like, yo, what happened to the mega clubs? I think the city constantly changes and it evolves, and meatpacking is always gonna be places there, there's always gonna be stuff there, but a club's getting changed into Dior or Restoration Hardware, where like down on the Lower East Side by like Christie Street, you got Public Hotel, which has a rooftop, a club, 205, Rochelle's, et al., the Box. There's like 7. That's like another strip now.
Yep.
205 is an open format venue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
I
meatpacking
play
was
like almost every Thursday.
was
It's-
such a
It's fun.
Yeah, I heard.
it was such a dope area though.
Meatpacking.
You know,
Yeah, well,
like the-
Lotus popped that whole area off.
Yeah.
Actually, before Lotus, there was a club called Fat Boys, and that was the spot. And
They
then
were just too early.
It was too early, and
That was before me.
yeah. Fat
Yeah.
Boys.
I came in.
Joe Dell owned that place. Rest in peace, Joe Dell.
I-
He
the-
opened up Fat Boys, and it was like 2 years or 3 years too early for the meatpacking district. And then Lotus came in and took Fat Boys, and then
Lotus is Mark Baker's spot, right?
yes, and then Lotus popped off. Lotus was the hottest spot.
Lotus was open 7 days a week.
Yep, and it was the hottest. club.
7 days a week.
I came in at 1, with Artie Arboleta. He brought me in like a Sunday night to play one. I think it was Sundays. And I was like, what's the meatpacking? Why is it bricks in the street?
That was in the
What's
Gansevoort Hotel?
It was
It was
where
next door.
Bagatelle is
Yeah,
now.
right
Oh,
next
we're
door.
back at Hotel. Yeah, that's right.
That was a great party.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was cool because that was the first time I got to experience like playing like different stuff. Like I was playing like Rhythm of the Night and like Lionel Richie and like random stuff like mixed in with hip hop.
Yep.
And I was like, I can do this. This is cool. You know?
So look, you're out so many nights of the week. What's your favorite party that you play at right now, and what is the most memorable night you've had in the last, let's say, 5 years of DJing? Start with your favorite party to play at right now.
I like just playing in general because
You're being biased. Okay.
no. For a specific reason, because every night is something. I'm lucky. I'm in a good spot where every night is something slightly different. Wednesdays is all throwbacks. Thursdays is throwbacks mixed with some fun rock stuff, mixed with like good Drake and no mumble shit. Friday and Saturday, it's like I'm usually on the road, or it's like your typical spots, which it can still be fun. And Sundays brunch and bounce and oak and that stuff. The Sunday fun day thing, which I feel like people like to party the most. So I like every party right now because it's kind of a good balance.
Okay. All right, I'll take that answer. What about most memorable night?
Recently, the opening of Catch in Vegas. That was crazy. Just like the amount of celebrities and just the craziest stuff I've ever seen.
Yeah, I seen it. Watched your gram.
Yeah,
All
it was,
over your gram.
I got yelled at to play Jay-Z for somebody, and somebody else was a different kind of music for somebody else. And I never thought I'd be getting told from these two people to play those songs. And I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Who are they? Drop their names. Let's go.
I was just like, wow. It was like I was like, this person's yelling at me right now. This is so cool. Yeah.
You can't tell us who?
Nah.
How do you stay?
But it was like an Oak experience.
I get it.
Where like, I don't care if this person yelling at me because this person just looking in my direction. That's okay. And then at the same time, somebody else of the same level is yelling in this direction. I'm gonna play one of each. Yeah, that was a new experience for me.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was cool.
There's not enough nights like that anymore. I feel.
No, that was yeah.
How do you stay mentally focused, bro? With playing all these nights. Sometimes Sundays you're playing a back-to-back. How do you do it?
He still loves DJing.
I mean, it's because it's hard. I mean, like the burnout factor has to come into play at some point. Like, do you get burnt out? Are there weeks where like your ears are burning? Like musically, you're just stressed out. Like, how does that work? I mean,
I think there's like 3 or 4 things. One, like we were talking about before, it's like balance. Like you got to do things like go to the gym and hang out with people that are getting fat and have wives and live in Long Island and go to sleep at 10 o'clock to be like normal. You know what I mean? Like my friends are like, oh, you're not gonna believe what happened this weekend. My roof, it started leaking. I had to run. I'm like, I don't have these problems, but okay, like that's good. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you like, whatever. 2, you gotta let off a little steam once in a while. People are like, I don't drink ever. I don't go out ever. I don't do it. You gotta once in a while. You gotta like just have some fun.
So do you ever see yourself being that guy in Long Island with the roof problems? And do you ever see yourself there?
Nah.
No.
Nah.
So you don't want kids or nothing like that?
Yeah, but they're gonna be like hipster Williamsburg kids.
They're gonna be in a
For
loft.
sure.
They're gonna be living in the loft.
They're gonna be living in a loft wearing like yeah. No, I'm not gonna be with a white picket fence. Nah.
So you're gonna stay in the concrete jungle.
Yeah. I think the other thing is know your age. Like you said, like the ears and stuff like that. I carry around earplugs all the time now. I used to never wear them, and I noticed I go, what? A lot more. So,
Yeah.
I wear earplugs. I take a day off when I think I need a day off. Like Mondays usually is like my Sunday. I do my laundry. catch up on a little bit of Netflix. I get ready for the week. I write to-do lists and
Yep.
stuff. And that's how you don't get burnt out. Is trying to like accept where you're at.
Do you have any ringing in your ears? I have ringing in my ears.
I don't get the constant ringing.
I have the constant
but
ringing.
I was getting like headaches and waking up weird and stuff like that when like on a Sunday with no earplugs and doing like brunch, especially like when it was like brunch bounce oak. Mondays would suck. And then I was like, I would force myself to wear earplugs. At first, my mistake was for years, I put them on after I started DJing. And you would notice how much lower the music got, and I was like, I can't do this. Now I put them on before I walk into the club, so I don't notice the volume adjusting in my ears.
That's smart.
And I just force myself to wear them.
Real quick, I want to touch on social media. You have a really good handle with your social media, I just want to explain to people how important it is to have a good social media, and the way you market yourself is. I've always told you from the very jump that you really market yourself well.
I think if mixing was really important 10 years ago, social media is more important than that now. I think people care more about your social media than if you can mix two songs together.
I believe it.
I don't know. I think that's like, I don't like that, but I think that's what you got to accept if you want to keep working in this day and age.
Well, you don't like it because you're a talented person. You're in the studio. You know how to mix. You know how to scratch. You know how to do all those things. Yeah. And now on top of all that, you're really good with your social media.
Thanks.
So if you were someone who didn't know how to DJ and you were just good with your social media, it would be a different story. So.
Thanks.
He's also wicked with Photoshop.
Yeah.
So that helps too, right?
Oh.
But you have to learn those things, right?
Well, this guy's behind so many flyers in New York City. I would say 90% of the flyers.
I mean, he inspired us to step our game up with the flyers.
Yep.
Like we had arguments about that,
Yeah.
and then we're like, all right, we're gonna make some changes.
I
so
even
like
called
our
him. I'm
flyers,
like, Rick, can I pay you to do our flyers?
our flyers have gotten better. They're not the best, but we started paying attention to like they needed to be of better quality, and like scaling. Like you have to make a flyer a certain size for the gram. You have to make a flyer a certain size for it's important.
It's like you see the memes. Is like, back in the day, a DJ had to be a good DJ. Now the DJ has to be a good videographer, photographer, graphic designer, publicist, copywriter. It sucks, but there's no going back. There's no changing it. It's never gonna not be this way moving forward. So if you want to be in the industry moving forward,
I agree.
You gotta accept it. That's
Accept it or bow out.
That's what it is. People aren't walking to the club with flight cases anymore. They walk into the club with a laptop or a USB stick or whatever.
The DJ booths aren't even big enough for flight cases.
Yeah.
They're just not made for vinyl. So.
Yeah. And I think the people who are not adapting and they're like hating on the people that are,
it's a waste of energy.
Yeah, it really is.
Why? It's not going to change how much you hate. So put that focus and that energy into doing something positive for yourself or your career or whatever it is.
I agree.
Inspire a younger kid to do better instead of hating, or.
So what do you got coming up that you're really looking forward to? Any releases? Any dope clubs coming up?
I got a big original that's a cover of an old song that I love that I've been testing for months. I started switching my production recently and doing more like covers of remakes of songs that I really like. And the next one I'm really excited for. I'm gonna play it
first. You drop it first.
Yeah. All right. I wasn't gonna play it first, but all right, yeah, I'll play it first. I'm really excited for that. I haven't picked a release date, but probably like within the next month. Playing Miami on Friday.
Nice.
Wall. You play?
Nice.
Yeah. My Wall on
Wall's
Friday.
dope.
Doing an event on Saturday. Taking a day off on Sunday. Taking a day off and just getting a tan.
Are you staying in Miami all
Yeah,
weekend?
I'm
Good for
staying.
you.
Good for you.
Just chill.
Just stay Monday too, unless you have work on Monday. Stay a couple days, relax a little bit, man.
I'm going on
It's
Friday
good.
morning, come back late Sunday night. So it's like a good 3 days.
It's good. You need a little vacation every now and then.
Dare next Tuesday, Atlantic City. That place is fun.
They have a Tuesday party. It's popping.
Well, just for this week, just for next week because it's the
holiday.
Allied Beverage After Party. It's a big, I think it's like a big liquor convention. It's gonna be in
big
town.
bag alert.
That place is sick. I'm looking forward to that.
Have you played there yet?
Yeah. Like 5 times already. I'm there like almost once a month.
Sound system's good?
Yeah, sound system's good. Venue's awesome. It's a new school venue because
It's in the Hard Rock, right?
Yeah.
it feels big, it looks big, but it's actually a smaller venue. So when it's not,
That was Casbah, right?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So you know the size of the room. It's the perfect size. It fills up quick, but it can hold.
I
a lot of
remember that
people.
place having high ceilings.
Yeah,
like
which
really, really
makes
high
it feel
ceilings.
like this crazy mega club.
Yeah.
you
And
know?
did it have multiple levels on the outside, like with a, or no?
No, it's just one level.
Just
with
one
really
level?
high
Yeah,
ceilings.
yeah.
Really high ceilings. Yeah.
Like
but
40
it's
foot
kind of
ceilings.
like that pit. Things like the DJ booths here. You have like tables around the outside, and there's like tables there, and there's like stuff behind you. It's cool because instead of the DJ booth being up against a wall, you're almost like in the center. So you have like people partying behind you, around you, and you feel like you're in the party.
So is nightlife strong in Atlantic City? I mean, there's a lot of competition out there. You have Dare, you have HQ2, you have Premier in the Borgata, you have Haven. Like how is it? I mean,
I think competition's good, right?
Yeah, competition is good, but
Competition's
when
good.
it's
If there's
all
one
on the
club-
same block, it's not that good. But
If there's one club in one city, everything's riding on that one club. If there's all these new venues popping up, it's pushing each club to like one up the other, and push the industry in a good direction. I think.
is there enough people though going to Atlantic City to fill in all these venues consistently?
We'll see. We'll see. I
there's
guess.
some serious marketing budgets in these clubs.
Yeah.
Like that the names that they bring in Atlantic City. It's
I
big
mean,
money.
I guess if they're not coming to New York to play the Brooklyn Mirage, right? I guess the only place that can afford these acts are in Atlantic City, right? Locally, like in the tri-state area.
Yeah. I mean, those are like two different worlds, but yeah. Like the Brooklyn Mirage, I feel like it's more like the underground stuff. I feel like
But they have, the Brooklyn Mirage does get some of these. They're now doing more of these EDM acts.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you see a lot of the EDM acts, right, in Atlantic
I feel
City?
like somebody you'd see it like Marquee, you'll see it, like Dare.
Yes,
the following night.
I agree.
Like a Lesso on a Friday and
Yep.
Dare on a Saturday or something like that.
Yep.
I think all the clubs opening up and things changing, the city's good.
Yeah.
Jersey used to have a ton of clubs, so if there's a ton of clubs in Atlantic City, then Jersey nightlife's doing good.
I remember when there used to be one club in Atlantic City.
What was it?
And that was Deja Vu, and it wasn't even in a hotel. It was away from the hotel.
Old.
That was
Yeah?
no, but that's what it was. There was
Like an
one-
off the strip club.
It was an off the strip club that was the only nightclub in Atlantic City, and
What was
people.
what was the city like at that time? Could
I
you
don't
walk
know.
there?
But I mean, it was
Could
like
you walk there from the hotel?
Who was this? in the
Nah, you-
70s, man?
no, it wasn't in the '70s.
Could you leave your hotel and
I
walk
mean,
to that
Brian, help me out over here. No, it was grimy. Yeah. Is it still open? No. So no, I'm talking about late '90s, early 2000s. That was the only place, and then you started having what was Providence? Where was that?
club? Tropicana.
Yeah, they opened up. Casbah opened up in the Taj, and then slowly you started seeing. It wasn't, I think, till like the Borgata made its presence in Atlantic City where nightlife really started to change in Atlantic City. Yeah.
Well, Rick,
Yeah.
it's awesome to have you back here with us, man.
Thanks for having me.
Good conversation.
Yeah.
Followed
Yeah, it
by
was-
some good music.
Like it,
Awesome,
yeah.
bro.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a 2-minute break or a minute break. We're going to get Rick up on the set. Go to thefunctionhouse.com/live because Facebook gets funny. They'll probably shut us down. So head there now and no interruptions. And Rick's going to rock live from Red Hook here at the Function House.
Peace.
Go.